h comma k is your center. If the center was the origin, 0, 0, so this would become x squared. So that would become y squared. When the center of your circle is at the origin, this becomes the polar, everything that we just did the last week and a half. What we're going to talk about today is converting between standard and general form. So standard was the second one, general was the first one, and then we're also going to go backwards. 913 is going to be our center.
Now because the formula is x minus h and y minus k, the values of h are really just going to be the number after the minus sign. So in this case it's positive 9 because it's x minus 9, and positive 13 because it's y minus 13, just like y minus k.
So we have this nice circle equation. When we are taking it from standard to general, you FOIL, and then you get the right side equal to 0. So with circles, it's not too bad. You're going to FOIL x minus 9 squared. No, x minus 9 squared. Alright, plus y minus 13, y minus 13 equals 24. Squared. X squared. Minus 18x. Yeah, we're going to have double the minus 9x. Plus 81.
So y squared minus 26y, the double of 13, plus 13 squared is 169, and that equals 24.
Alright, so we have FOILed, and now the goal is to get the right side equal to 0. So we're going to subtract that, and we have to combine like terms. So we have x squared plus y squared, because it was in order with the x squareds and the y squareds and the x's and the y's. We have minus 18x, minus 26y, and then we have positive 81, positive 169, minus 24. Is it close? Okay. So this is the general form.
So we're rewriting x plus 3 squared as x plus 3 times x plus 3, and y minus 7 squared as y minus 7 times y minus 7.
Subtract this guy, set it equal to 0, so we will get x squared plus y squared, because we're putting it in the order of that general form, plus 6x minus 14y, and then you have 9 plus 49 minus 135 equals 0. And we are done. Good point. The center will be, you said negative 3, positive 7? Absolutely. That is your h. This should be x minus. So it's kind of x minus minus 3 and y minus 7. Now we're going to go the other way, which is so much harder. So the first thing that we want to do when completing the square is kind of separate everything into x's, y's, and the number on the right side. So we're going to subtract this 49 from both sides, and we're going to kind of just reorder everything so it goes all of the x's and then all of the y's. Now, when we complete the square, we're going to have to complete the square twice. We're going to do it for the x's, and we're going to do it for the y's. So the way that we do this is we kind of leave a blank. So we're going to have x squared plus 12x plus some unknown that we're going to fill in. And then y squared plus 14y plus another unknown. Now the thing is, we can't just add random numbers to the left side of this equation. Whatever we add to the left side, we're going to have to add to the right side to keep things equal. Always half that number squared. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 squared is 36. So we have 36 there. I'm going to go ahead and add 36 on the right side. And this number is going to be 14 divided by 2 squared, 49. And what we add to the left, we're going to add to the right. This guy here and this guy here are now perfect square trinomials. This is the factorization of a perfect square trinomial. So when you have like x minus 9 times x minus 9, it's x minus 9 squared. What we're going to do here is take this and make it into x plus or minus some number squared. The square root of 36, or half of 12, so this is actually going to break down to be x plus 6 squared. Because we made it so. Because we chose this 36 specifically. We didn't just throw a random number in there. We chose 12 divided by 2 squared, which makes x plus 6 squared. Plus 7 squared. And then on the right side, we just have some numbers. Negative 49 plus 36 plus 49. 36, those 49s are going to go away. And now we have standard form. Negative 6, negative 7. That is why it is useful to be able to go from general to standard, because now we have a center and we could graph this circle. Add 131 to both sides. So then what do you do? Nine. So half of 6 is 3, squared is 9, so half of 4 is 2, squared is 4, okay? Y plus 2 squared equals what? 144. And this is a nice perfect square, which tells us our radius would be what? So our radius is going to be 12. And Cameron, can you tell me the center of this circle? Negative 3, negative 2. But a very special thing does happen at h comma k. So keep that in mind. First step when we are converting from standard to general is we're going to multiply by a common denominator. 25 is going to be a common denominator. We're still going to have 5. Because 25 divided by 5 is 5. So we really will have 5 times x minus 2 squared. Think of it as 5 times x squared minus 4x plus 4. And that 5 is going to be multiplied afterwards. You can do that in one step if you have that ability. We'll get y squared, 18y, plus 81. And just like with the last one, when we're going from standard to general, we're going to have to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract that 25 over. Distribute this across everything. So 20 plus y squared minus 18y plus 81 minus 25 equals 0. Rearrange and combine like terms. So the numbers will all combine, and we're going to do it x squared, x, y number. That is the end of this problem. So we're going to take everything and multiply by 2, 3, 7, 5. So we have 25 times x minus a squared. And then for the second term, we're going to take 2, 3, 7, 5, divided by 1, 2, 5. And what do we get? 19 times y plus 7 squared equals 1 times this number. We're just going to get that equation. Boil this guy. So we're going to have equals 2, 3, 7, 5. Now we're going to distribute these numbers. so we have to factor out the 14. So we have plus 6x, and we're going to insert the blank there. And then from the y's, we're going to do the same thing. So we have to take that 15 away from it. We can't have that there. So we're going to factor it out. We're left with y squared, and then minus 240 divided by 15, what's that going to do? Negative 16y plus blank. And when we add blanks to the left side, we got to add blanks to the right side. Now, again, this can't just be nice and easy stuff. It has to be a pain. Now, 9 times 14 goes here. 126 squared. 64. Now, we are not going to write 64 in here. We're going to write 64 times 15, 960. This is going to factor into a nice perfect square trinomial type thing. Square. Now this one. Y minus 8 squared equals 1050. Divide by 1050. So we are going from standard form to general form. 64 is our only denominator. We multiply by 64. Perfect. Y plus 3 squared over 64 times 64. Yeah, it's going to just get rid of those 64s. It's 64. Now we FOIL. We're just following kind of expanding laws. Do the math. We have something squared, square it. And it makes sense what we do when we are going from standard to general. So we're going to get 64x squared. So when we FOIL this, everything is going to switch signs. Alright, so we have to complete the square and divide so the right side is 1. So we are going to rewrite so it goes x's, y's, equal number. We're going to have to factor out that negative 3. So we're going to look at it like the x's are separate from the y's. So we're going to get negative 3, parentheses x squared, and we're going to take a negative 3 out of positive 6, negative 20x plus blank. We just have y squared plus 18y plus blank equals 234 plus blank plus blank.
Take negative 20, divide it by 2, and square it to get 100. And then we do the same with the y's. So we take 18 divided by 2, which is 9, and we square that to be 81. And we're going to add both of those to the right side. 100, we have to actually multiply that by the negative 3,